The Dodgers are back on top of the National League West after a huge sweep at home of the Padres. My name's Ryan Bershinger. Today, we're going to dive into that series, including one incredible outing from a Hall of Fame pitcher.
And a secret meeting with Mookie Betts, Dave Roberts, and Andrew Friedman, and it was about Mookie's swing? No, it wasn't. We're going to dive into that. I'm Monse Beau.
And Rob Manfred has another bad idea, if you guys are surprised. I'm Bo Benson.
This is the Sick Podcast, the Dodgers Zone. Let's get into it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. The Dodgers Zone.
Cortez delivers. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone! Gibby, meet Freddie. Game 1 of the World Series.
The sickest LA Dodgers podcast.
Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. If you have a sombrero, throw it to the sky.
Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
It's gonna be sick.
So yes, let's start with that great gigantic sweep of the Padres at home, which unfortunately was followed up with a rather weird buzzkill in Colorado. But that seems to happen every year. Things always get weird in Coors Field in one way or another, and it's already that way. We're recording this ahead of their second game in Coors Field, so hopefully things don't get weirder, but they probably will because that's Coors Field. So let's talk about this Padres series. Of course, the Dodgers slipped to second place right before the series, and I was ready to slam the panic button because things have been bad for quite some time. And I think it was getting to the point where it's like, all right, they're showing signs of life, but they're not fully overcoming them. The issues are still prevalent and they're still building. You had the fact that, again, they can't beat the greatest team in the world, the Los Angeles Angels, who we have called them the Los Angeles Angels for the rest of the year because the Angels swept the Dodgers for the season. Hey, you deserve it. Good for you. But because of that, and that series especially, things felt rather dreary for the Dodgers.
Did you see Logan O'Hoppe or whatever was on one of the talk shows? And he was just like, yeah, we had trouble sleeping each night after we won those games. Like, that really was, like, Mookie wasn't wrong. Like, they are the World Series for everybody, but especially the Angels. So kudos to them, I guess. I think they proceeded to then get swept by the Athletics. Or at least, like, take 2 out of 3.
Hey, it's a World Series hangover. Funny. We get it.
That's facts, yeah.
We get it. Absolutely. Yeah, through the series, like, there was things that have been frustrating earlier in the season, like letting go of small leads or not being able to score when only down 1 run. Like, there were things that all season have been frustrating that they seemed to do during this 3-game series where you were like, where has all of this been? It was just every game had a moment, whether it was like, okay, we shut them out 1 game, but 1 game where it's like we were only up by 1. Can we hold on to this lead? And then we were down. Can we make up in this deficit? Things we haven't seen. It was nice to see against the Padres because it's obviously the damn Padres. So it was like extra good. Like, I would have loved to see this against the Angels, but I'm not going to lie. It was chef's kiss that it happened against the Padres. And then again, we're not going to talk about Coors Field after because that was annoying. But against the Padres, it was great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was such a hype coming into this series, as there has been for a lot of these series between the Dodgers and Padres, and especially given the storyline of the Padres overtaking the Dodgers in the NL West. This was something that was bleeding through in the national storylines. People are talking about this Dodgers-Padres series, and more so in the angle of how disappointing this must be for the Dodgers that they've fallen behind, which, quite frankly, the Padres should have overtaken them a while ago, given the way that the Dodgers were playing for the last month plus. Yeah. But it is interesting where the Dodgers then pretty handily take that series. A couple of the games were close. Saturday wasn't. But the Padres were able to hang in there and make it a very competitive series for a couple of those nights. But But then we come out of that series with the Dodgers easily back on top. They get the sweep at home. I understand, yes, we're now going to go to San Diego next weekend, and that's also going to be a significant series. But it's just interesting that I didn't hear as many voices about, like, hey, maybe the Dodgers are actually good after they were able to put the Padres back down.
Why would you? That doesn't sell magazines or get clicks or anything like that. I think it's two things, honestly. Like, I've told you guys this stat, but our friend Daniel Starkin pointed it out. 0-14 against the Angels, Astros, and Brewers this year. 68-38 at the time. So now it's 71-39 against everybody else in baseball. So it turns out that the Dodgers are still a good team. It's just for whatever reason they couldn't beat the Angels this year. They couldn't beat the Astros, and nobody can beat the Brewers. So that doesn't really concern me at all.
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is the Padres. We've said it before, but they just get too in their own heads playing the Dodgers. It's so apparent. It's been that way ever since they won the playoff series, and was that 22? But they just get too fired up to play the Dodgers, and every mistake is magnified. Like Jackson Merrill would not have dropped that ball playing anybody else, but because they so badly want to go out there and make a play against the Dodgers, he drops that ball, allows the two runners to score, I believe. Yeah. So until they like learn how to just take it like another game, like the Dodgers do, they're gonna lose those games.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, not that they get scared, but that's not the word, but it does seem like they lose their focus against the Dodgers more than anybody else. And it's funny to watch because we want them, to lose and not do well and whatnot. But it is like the Padres are good. They're a good team. And so like they could beat the Dodgers, and they have. But in this series, you were just kind of like, wow, where did this happen? Because the Dodgers had not been playing that well, and the Padres were playing that well. But then you put them together, and all of a sudden, everyone comes back down to reality.
Mm-hmm. It goes into this idea of the Padres having the little brother energy, right? Like, and I know a lot of people will say that in a very demeaning way towards the Padres, and I'm saying it in a practical way here. It's the fact that they so desperately want to overcome all the attention and all the talents of their older brother, that when it comes time to them to face head to head, they get so worked up that it actually is detrimental to their performance. And we've seen that time and time again with the way the Padres approach the Dodgers, because again, as you said, Monse, the Padres are a good team. They are absolutely a threat to win the National League. They have a ton of talent. I think right now, especially with Michael King not in the rotation, I think their rotation is a major weak point at the moment. They've loaded up their bullpen, obviously, with adding Mason Miller there, but their bullpen was a weakness in this series. So,
you mean their October-proof bullpen?
So it's not that the Padres are incapable of beating the Dodgers talent-wise. I do think there is absolutely a level in which they psych themselves up. And on the flip side, the Dodgers should be able to beat any team except for the Angels. So I think that when I'm putting out the idea of, yes, this is very much little brother energy coming from the Padres, it's not. I know a lot of Dodger fans will try to put them down, and we have many times before. I'm not trying to act all high and mighty here, but I'm saying it as I think Padres fans should agree with this. Like, this is the little brother energy that's coming through, because when you're performing great against everyone else, but suddenly you're up against who you see as your arch rival, your biggest hump that you have to get over in order to have success, and you kind of choke. You do shoot yourselves in the foot.
And don't you guys feel like the Padres against the Dodgers, they want to win in style? Like, they don't just want to win and win based on how you play baseball. Like, they want to win with style points. It's like they lose their focus, where it's like, bro, just play normal, but you want to come out and like beat us with style points, and it like doesn't work out. But that's why the little brother energy is like perfect, because yes, like if you have a big brother, the big brother is usually like really unaffected. really unaffected. And then the little brother wants to win and be like, and I did it in a cool way. Suck it.
Mhm.
You know, like it's the energies are so different. So I totally agree with you. But again, like I hate the Padres, but they're a damn good team. And they have a real chance of winning, but not if they kind of go back into that little brother energy every time they play the Dodgers.
Yeah. I think it all reflects very much on their leaders, right? Like this is Manny Machado, right? Like let's point because Fernando obviously, of course, has always had that flash and the flair for the dramatic, but he's younger, so you don't really expect him to be more of a leader in the clubhouse in the way that you expect Manny Machado to be that leader. But how many times have we seen Machado go up in a significant situation this season alone against the Dodgers where he takes a gigantic swing and miss at a fastball and is like shaking his head going, okay, yeah, I see you. And then he locks back in and he has that swag and he's like ready to he's like, all right, well, I see you. I'm going to get you this time. And then he does the exact same thing the next time and strikes out. That's exactly how the game ended on Sunday. So, and that's not the first time we've seen that from Manny Machado this season. That's the sort of energy that I think is infectious with this team. But again, they're a very talented team, and they absolutely, if they calm down just a little bit, they are absolutely a threat to take down the Dodgers in the postseason. So I'm not overlooking them, and I'm not demeaning them in any sort of way. They are a very good team. I think there's definitely an element of them hurting themselves in these series with the Dodgers.
Maybe I'm a giant hater. I don't think they're that good, to be honest with you.
Bless you. I said before the season I thought they were going to miss the playoffs, but they played better than I thought they would.
I don't think their rotation is good. Their offense is not good. They have a good bullpen, but Michael King out, you'd have to assume that bullpen's going to get more work. And the last thing you want a bullpen to do is have to work more often, as evidenced by the Dodgers. So, I don't know, man. I would pick like the Brewers, Phillies, Dodgers. I would maybe pick the Cubs over the Padres, and I'd probably pick the Mets over the Padres if I had a gun to my head, but maybe I'm just being a big old hater. I don't know. They do not move me. They do not move me in the slightest.
I do think their rotation is a problem for them. I don't think they're a problem for other teams. I think that the fact that, especially with King out, that rotation is not very strong. And we saw it on display in this series with the Dodgers, where the Dodgers, if their rotation is at full strength, they can easily win any playoff series. And that's what we saw in this series with the Padres, especially when Clayton Kershaw on Friday nights in August returns to form. It is incredible to watch. This is back-to-back. I mean, he's had 3 starts in August that were all on Friday nights, and they've all been excellent. Yep. I think the big thing, too, is his last one was against the Blue Jays, who had the best record in the American League coming in, against Max Scherzer. And then this was a stopper game. We needed a true ace to show up and stop the slide and take on a huge opponent in a big game and get the win. And that's exactly what Kershaw did. And for people who want to trash Kershaw for the way that he's pitched in big games in the past, this is 2 consecutive huge games that he has showed up, especially this Friday night against San Diego, to get that series started off on the right foot, to bring them back within. I think they tied it then in terms of the top of the NL West by getting that win, or they were a game back, whatever. Regardless, this was Kershaw showing up when it mattered most. And we didn't expect him to be able to do that at this point in his career, at this point in a season. He's been there for months now. He's been healthy, he's been productive, and he's been damn good. So thank God Kershaw started this series off on the right foot for the Dodgers, and that carried through for the entire series.
They talked about him like he was a Make-A-Wish kid.
Yeah.
Like he was being talked about in the coming into the season, like, well, if he can get to 3,000 by September, that'd be cool. But he's probably gonna have a 7 ERA or something like that.
I talked about him that way. I said so many times, like, I don't care what Kershaw does as long as he just retires as a Dodger, get the 3,000 strikeouts. I don't care what else he does, and he's been great.
Yeah, I think none of us would have in March been like, Watch, come August, he's going to be 3rd or 4th in our rotation. None of us would have said that. And it's incredible to watch. And I was with you guys too. Like, I don't care if his arm falls out. I don't care if he gives up 20 runs. He's going out there to get 3,000 strikeouts. And just along the way, he's been like, oh yeah, watch this. I don't care that I can't pitch more than 90 miles an hour. I'm just going to put the ball where it needs to be, and people are going to swing and miss. And Manny Machado being one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so happy for Kershaw because, you know, I think we all agree, right? He's retiring. Like, this is
really
his
feels-
final.
Probably.
And he's not going to announce it. And it's going to be like, they win. He's going to have a cigar and be like, I'm out. Mic drop.
Yeah, it's been so much fun to watch, and that is 2 huge games. I think that's what's so impressive. This was a really big game, and as big as an August game can be, and Kershaw came out and set the tone, and that's huge. That is almost not fully vintage, because again, vintage Kershaw, like prime Kershaw, is maybe the best pitcher that any of us will ever see, but this was still a damn good. This was a Kershaw that showed he belonged on the All-Star team. Okay, for everybody who trashed that selection, the way he's pitched in his last 3 outings shows that he belongs on this All-Star team. His ERA is at 3.01. That's great. That's awesome. And not to be overlooked, we also had great performances from Tyler Glasnow and Blake Snell in this series, and both of these guys are showing why, as I said earlier, this rotation can win any playoff series. Snell pitched like an ace. Snell looked like a guy who I'd be comfortable having as the game 1 starter. Glasnow at any point in the series with that sort of stuff, absolutely. The rotation is a very strong point right now, and it's great to see.
I think that Blake Snell that pitched in that game is the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah.
Like that, I flat out think that, like, just given where he's pitched, how, like, the environments he's been in, like, if you're telling me, like, all right, so it's game 7, we have to win this game, you can have Blake Snell or Paul Skeens, like, I'm taking Blake Snell. He's been there before. Like, he's that good. Like, he's just good. Like, everything else that comes with it, like, you'll figure it out. But
oh man, he was cooking.
He was.
Oh no.
Yeah, Beau, you are frozen, but you were cooking. And
that's right. That's fine.
But to your point, yes. This is why Blake Snell got this money, is to pitch in games like this, and then to be this pitcher in October. And the fact that he took most of the season off.
I know.
He's gonna hit mid-season form in the playoffs. Like,
yeah,
this is nice. Like, if he stays healthy and he's the game 1 starter, oh boy,
I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
Huge. That is huge.
Yeah, he did seem so comfortable out there, and I wasn't expecting to, especially against his former team. Yeah. You know, like, you're just kind of like, what's gonna happen on the mound right now against your former team, having been injured this season. He looked real comfortable, real not trying to be flashy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just trying to get the job done.
Yeah. So it was excellent work. Of course, the bullpen has its moments. It's also shaky. I understand. Listen, Alexis Diaz almost got a save on Friday night. That was we're rolling out Alexis Diaz in the 9th inning of a 1-run game, which would have been awesome 3 years ago. Like, is
this the worst bullpen they've ever put out there?
I'm
sure I've blocked some bad ones from memory, but
yeah,
like, oh boy.
Yeah, there's
this
a lot
one
of
fucking
like,
sucks.
You're just kind of like, who's that? Who's coming out of the bullpen?
Yeah.
Let me look this person up. Never heard of him in my life.
And I understand, like, people will want to criticize Roberts for literally anything. But you can only play with the cards that are dealt to you. Like, this is so what is he supposed to do?
Like, do people think that Dave is going out there and be like, all right, Alexis, just leave this one over the plate, see what happens? Like, the fuck, dude?
I understood, like, Blake Trinan comes out, throws 1 pitch, gets out of the inning in the 8th. and then he goes to Alexis Diaz in the 9th rather than bringing Treinen back out. And I understand being like, okay, Dave, this is pretty wild here. Like, all right, let's see. Why not? Sure, I guess. I think that, of course, has to do with Treinen is still kind of recovering. He hasn't really looked like himself since coming back from injury. He doesn't want to have him pitch up downs. I guess, even if it's just one pitch, that's still an up and down. But yeah, that's the only moment. Otherwise, when you have a bullpen that's as messy as this one, where guys are also like unavailable the day after because they've had to throw so much the day before, like there's no like real obvious choice to close a game right now. Like that's
there's
the
no obvious choice to do anything.
No,
like nothing can go wrong.
It is
nothing can go wrong for this team right now.
Yeah,
zero things.
The entire bullpen as it is, like there's guys who have done better, sure, but all of them have been shaky in some regard over the past few weeks. So really, it truly is. Anytime Dave is going to the bullpen, just throw a dart at a board. Like that's really all you can do. So I understand wanting to criticize him, but there's not the choices are what the choices are. There's not really much else he can do.
Yeah. Like I want to go back though. I totally forgot about when we were talking about like the lead up to the Padres series and how it was being talked about in the media. I do want to point out that it is really funny that in basketball, it's kind of accepted that good teams, because basketball plays an 82-game season, it's accepted that good teams and teams that win championships the year before, like they have this thing called a switch, where it's like LeBron and the Cavs or LeBron and the Lakers, Steph and the Warriors, blah, 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 whoever, take your choice. They probably didn't really want to play Charlotte in the middle of April. But they do want to play the Warriors in the middle of May, getting ready for the playoffs. So they flip that switch to on. The Dodgers probably switched that flip to off for most of the season. And then I don't think it's a coincidence that they play really well against the Giants, the Padres, any American League teams that they could face, like the Blue Jays. Like, it's very clear at this point that they do have an on and off switch. And you can argue that that's like a lack of focus and maybe not a great thing. But baseball is a long fucking season, like 162 games. You cannot play your best baseball the entire year. So it is really funny to for people to freak out because they're a game behind the standings when they still have at least at that point, 6 more games to play against the Padres. And, an entire month left of baseball. That was just really rich. And it's really funny the Dodgers are not afforded any of the leeway that other champions are given in other sports and even in baseball. It's very funny.
I think Beau is talking about me because I bitched about the Dodgers, and everything you said is right. I hear you. I understand the logical side of what you are saying, but I feel like in baseball, turning on the switch versus other sports is more risky. But you're right. It's a super long season. It's impossible to stay focused the whole time. You are so damn right. I'm sorry that I hold my team to fucking high standards, okay? I need you to be fucking focused.
It is a miserable watch, though.
No,
it is a miserable 100%. Watch. Like,
and
those Angels games are torture.
Torture. Super and annoying and frustrating. But you're not wrong. I will say I find the turning on the switch in baseball a little bit more risky, because baseball, as much as it is, it's a team sport. It's a lot of individuality. Like, you all have to do your job in a different way than in football, and obviously it's much more team in the other sports. So I hate that. But you're right, Beau. I will try to keep my emotions in check the rest of the season. Okay.
Well, now is when you have to be emotional, because now it
actually matters. Now I can be emotional. Okay,
that's fine.
Okay.
Well,
but
this is
not emotional in July. That's what. Don't be emotional in July. Okay.
You cannot care about results in baseball until probably July 15th.
Okay.
I would say.
This is a good transition to our next topic, because it goes into my thoughts, because I believe Teoscar Hernandez flipped the switch to off after after winning the World Series and getting paid in the offseason. Because
shocker.
what we have seen from him this season, it's not the same player. Now, again, he might just be playing through an injury, and I kind of hope that that's what it is. Obviously, I'd rather somebody not play if they're hurt, but it also is the best explanation as to what's happening to him, because the other explanations are not very nice, and I don't really want to say them. But this is I truly believe that Teoscar, he had a great season last year, huge part of a championship run, loved winning the championship, celebrated it like crazy, proceeded to get a huge contract out of it with a team that he loved playing for, gets to come back home, and is now kind of like, all right, cool. I get to hang out here for another 4 years. Awesome. Oh, wait, a ball's being hit to me. And then he starts to chug along, and sure enough, the ball drops in front of him, and it's a ball that has a 99.4% chance of being caught. I believe that was the whatever the the numbers are in terms of like hit probability on that play. It was a 0.6% hit probability. But the 0.6% is there because Teoscar Hernandez exists. So that was the 0.6% chance of that ball being a hit. And it was, again, I understand he was playing deep, as he explained after the game. They were in no doubles defense, so he was playing deep. But also, having Teoscar play deep means that sort of situation is going to happen.
You can dive. You are allowed to dive.
Yes.
The result is the same if the ball gets by you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's clear at this point he either doesn't care, he's lazy, which I think there's more stock in that at this point, or he's hurt. And if he's hurt, then Ryan fucking Ward can come up and do the same shit he does.
Yeah.
Like, the stubbornness that this team has is insane, especially with regards to defense, which is like, nerds are supposed to care about defense, but they don't. They don't fucking care. Which Teoscar is the perfect example. That's the perfect pushback for people that think there's too many nerds running this team. Because if there were nerds running this team, they would not have fucking signed him to a 4-year contract.
Yeah.
Like, they would not. They would have signed him to a 1-year deal, or they would have told him to get fucking lost. And this is like why you don't sign this guy to a 4-year deal. Because this is year 1 of that contract, and it's already probably aged poorly. Like, but I will say that this is why I prefer signing guys rather than trading for guys, because at least all they're out is money. Like, it's not like they gave up a premium prospect for an outfielder that can't play. So all they got to do is be like, well, we're going to eat $75 million, or we're going to trade him to somebody and give up a low-level prospect to his deal off our hands. But I'm so sick of Teoscar Hernandez. Oh, my God. Jesus.
You know, like, the analytics of it, like you said, they don't care about defense, and that's the problem. He's tied for second home runs wise for the Dodgers. He's got over 70 RBI. Like, that's part of the reason that they won't move him out of that spot. But if I can find a 3-minute video putting all of your errors from this season together, that is a problem. Like, I should not be able to find that in just one season. If he is injured, that does explain a lot, because I told you, it's like, I don't know if he just doesn't see the ball. It's like he doesn't know how to catch a ball in the outfield. Like, how are you so out of position every single time? And then your errors, like, if the ball touches your glove, that was your fault. You should have caught that damn ball. And when I was like in high school, my volleyball coach was crazy, and he like would make us do really like stupid shit if he got mad at something, if one of us didn't go for a ball. So like, we literally would dive just to show him effort. Like, can you fucking dive and show us effort? Because it seems like you just run and stop, and there goes the ball right in front of you. Like, I could not just stop. I would be on the floor with grass burns and all that shit, because I can't, guys. I can't. I don't know.
No, his walks are down, his strikeouts are up, average down, OBP down, everything. All of his advanced metrics are down, and he sucks defensively. So he's literally doing nothing. The fact that he's got a positive WAR is fucking insane.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me. He may have like played himself out of being a fan favorite this year. Like, God damn, dude.
Yeah, you have to show some sort of hustle in order for fans to still be on your side, because if it looks like you're not hustling out there, that is the quickest way to get fans to turn against you. Even if you're not playing well, if you're still showing hustle and you're showing attempt, like how many years did Chris Taylor get gigantic ovations from this crowd? Okay, like he never looked like he wasn't trying, but
No.
he had many years where he was not productive.
If he had dove for that ball last night and missed it, it would have been like, wow, that was unfortunate, and we probably would have laughed at him. But like, you wouldn't have people fucking posting a 3-minute highlight reel of all your defensive miscues this year. Like,
Yeah.
just oh god.
It's- And with this private meeting, that happened with Mookie, Dave Roberts, and Andrew Friedman, I think a lot of people initially was like, oh, Mookie wants to go back to right field. Okay, first of all, that's the stupidest thing. You can't ask this man to move again. Damn it. No. I truly think he went over to tell them, as a former 6-time Gold Glove right fielder, I am telling you that man cannot play right field. That's what I think that meeting was about. I don't think it was about him being moved, about his swing and how good it suddenly feels. No. I think he privately needed to tell them, like, he can't do that job. I don't know who can, because you've made me focus on the infield and you can't take me out of this now, but he cannot play right field. Move his ass to freaking left field. I don't know if that's any better. Conforto shouldn't be batting anyway. And then try somebody else at right field. Like, I don't know the answer, but I'm telling you, that's what Mookie went in there to tell them. Like, he can't do this job.
I like that theory. I don't see why not, because there's nobody on this team that knows right field better than Mookie Betts does. So I totally think, and to your point too, I don't think Mookie would want to move out of shortstop, because I think he's also aware of the Dodgers situation right now, where if Mookie wasn't at short right now, the infield would then be Alex Freeland, Miguel Rojas, and Buddy Kennedy, who I believe hosted a variety show in the 50s. I don't know if he's an actual baseball player. I think he is a teddy bear that is on the roster, because like I've tried to figure out who Buddy Kennedy is. I understand. Listen, we're a Dodger podcast. We should know a whole lot about the Dodgers, okay?
No, he just walked on the roster.
When he showed up, I had never heard of this man in my life. I don't know. And if you're like, wow, geez, some Dodger podcast you are, go ahead and Google Buddy Kennedy, okay? and you tell me, because Google also doesn't know who he is. But no, he's barely played in his major league career. He's a person who is on the Dodgers at the moment, which is wild to me.
That's a gag right there.
I went and looked at the AAA roster to like figure out like that really they have no one else. Currently on the 40-man, there is no Esteury Ruiz is the only position player on the 40-man who is not in the majors right now, and him and Justin Dean are kind of the same player. Just Dean's a better defensive outfielder, so that's why they're like, hey, why not? Let's give you a shot instead. But then outside of that, there's no one. Like Nick Senzel is on the AAA roster, who was a very highly touted prospect many years ago. And then once he got to the majors, he was straight up bad, and he bounced around the majors and was just awful everywhere. But his numbers in AAA are semi-decent. And if he can play third, I'm sure he might be better than Buddy Kennedy. That's all I'm going to say. So maybe give him a shot. But that's also, to this point, that's how bleak things are with players in general on the Dodger roster right now, because so many guys are hurt, and the depth that they've had for so many years, this feels like the Billy McKinney, Luke Raley sort of bench, Sheldon Noisy sort of bench. Like this is
wow.
Yeah.
Jeez,
this is
dude.
It's this group of guys, because like obviously, Chris Taylor went to the Angels, was not good there, and then got hurt. Austin Barnes hung out with the Giants for a bit, and then he just got released. So I'm not saying that they should still be on the roster, but like, do we have better options on the roster than those guys at the moment, to be honest? Like, again, Dalton Rushing is a better backup catcher than Austin Barnes, but Austin Barnes versus Buddy Kennedy in an at-bat right now. Who are you taking? I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. And I'm saying all this, and Buddy Kennedy's probably going to hit 3 home runs at Coors Field tonight, and I hope to God he does. But this is kind of, again, it's weird to see just how depleted the Dodgers bench is positionally when there are guys, as you mentioned, Ryan Ward is a guy that Dodger fans have been clamoring for weeks because we keep watching Michael Conforto hit and we're like, what the hell? He shows a sign of life for an at bat, and then he'll ground into a double play, and then we'll be like, well, he hit the ball hard, but it was at the second baseman, and then we're just stuck in this cycle for a very long time with Conforto. Alex Call has given nothing since he came over, but dude, there's just no other options. So like it's weird. It's really weird. The depth is just not there. So in terms of Teoscar, the only thing you can do is move him to left and hope that he doesn't have to move as much over there. But like that's it. Ohtani has DH locked up as he should. But this was the risk that we took in terms of paying Teoscar Hernandez. Is as good of a hitter as he is, which by the way, on Friday night he homered. And if he doesn't homer in that game, they may not win that game. They play 1-by-1 run. He had a solo home run. And so obviously like he shows his significance to the lineup. And we saw last year just how important he is to the lineup. But you're also now losing games because of his defense. And that is a problem. So there's the only real solution is to shake him and say, stop doing that. like get on the treadmill, buddy. Like, I don't know what else to say because we got nothing else for you.
Hit more balls. I don't care if you're giving up runs, if you're fucking hitting 3 bombs a game and they're up by 7. Yeah. But like, it's one or the other. Like you either have to be so good at the plate that you can forgive your defense, or you have to be so good defensively that you don't matter at the plate. Yeah. And he's not either of those. So he's got to figure it out.
So speaking of figuring things out, Rob Manfred has kind of casually floated this idea. He said like, okay, well, Major League Baseball is going to look to expand at some point in the near future, which of course they are. Every league wants to. Every league is going to happen. And he just kind of slipped into conversation this idea of like geographic realignment, which sounds odd. Beau, what was your reaction?
Two things here. He does that on national TV right before there's going to be a CBA dispute. So that's good for him. Yeah. Another point made by other people, we have 2 teams playing in minor league stadiums right now. And you think now is the time to talk about adding 2 or 3 more teams to this league? Really? Yeah. But no, realignment, he wants to talk about that. Actually, I'm ultimately fine with realignment. But the issue with realignment is that you get dumbasses like Jim Bowden a couple years ago throwing out their plans. I want to read you guys Jim Bowden's different conferences because there wouldn't be leagues. They'd go to conferences because can't have any fucking fun in baseball. We have to be like everybody else in 2025. So this is Jim Bowden's Eastern Conference. In the East, you would have the Red Sox, Mets, Yankees, and Phillies. Not bad. That actually makes sense, I think.
Yeah.
You keep the Red Sox and the Yankees together, Mets and the Phillies together, and then you get the Yankees and the Mets. So I think that's not bad. In the North, you would have the Reds, the Guardians, the Tigers, and the Blue Jays. That's all right. That feels like you're forcing the Reds in there, but sure, why not? The Southeast would be the Braves, the Marlins, the Rays, and a Nashville expansion team. Nashville does not deserve pro sports. They shouldn't even have the Titans. So giving them a baseball team is a bad choice. Here is the good one. The Mid-Atlantic. You would have the Baltimore Orioles, who I think are just having a down year, but they have too much talent everywhere to be bad. You would have the Pirates, who suck tremendously. You have the Nationals, who suck tremendously. And you would have a Charlotte expansion team, who I would assume would also suck tremendously. So that is a AAA division in the major leagues. That would just be the Orioles winning 14 division titles in a row at like 81-81.
Right.
Like Jesus, dude. Jim Bowden is an idiot.
the Pirates and Orioles would just like see who could spend less money.
Less
between
money,
the two
yeah,
of
no.
them. Like that, I think
The
that's-
Western,
yeah.
his Western Conference would be the Midwest. You'd have the Cubs, the White Sox, the Brewers, and the Twins. Not bad. That's
Okay.
fine.
Fine, yeah.
Southwest, Astros, Royals, Cardinals, Rangers. I
Okay.
guess.
Okay, sure.
Pacific Coast, you would have the Rockies, the Athletics, the Mariners, and the Giants. And you have to keep that one in mind because I think you'll see that I didn't mention a team there that should probably be there. In the West, you would have the Diamondbacks, the Angels, the Padres, and the Dodgers.
Mhm.
This is the dumbest thing of all time. You cannot split up the Giants and the Dodgers. You can't do that. That is the dumbest idea I have ever heard. I think Jim Bowden should be tied to a pole and set on fire. Because what the fuck is this, dude?
I mean, you're not wrong, Bo. What are you talking about? How are we even entertaining this? So like I don't like the idea of an expansion. I understand that there is immediate revenue whenever there's a new team in any sport, like everyone just goes because they're excited. So I understand that side of it. But how about you fix the teams that don't care about winning? Like the Rockies, like the Pirates. How about we fix that first? Okay. Okay.
Baseball is the one sport I think, like baseball has more teams that don't try than any other sport.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Even basketball, there are more teams that try in basketball than there are in baseball. So why are you adding teams to this fucking league?
Why are you adding teams when there's teams who aren't even trying? Then you want to tell me that it's to alleviate travel? Oh, okay. So how about we go back to the days where interleague play was rare? How about we go back to that? It was special when the Yankees would come to town. Now it's like I'm gonna see their ass every year. Like I don't even care. Not every other year, but you get what I'm saying. Like there's like ways to fix these problems that you're telling me without an expansion and without a realignment. Get out of my face.
Did they really say they want to eliminate travel?
Yes.
Yeah.
How about we stop playing fucking games in Japan and Korea? Stop playing in fucking London where they don't care about baseball. Jesus, dude.
It makes no sense. I don't get it. And like to separate like that division, I'm just like I can't. To separate the Dodgers and the Giants, it's like I feel like in basketball, the divisions don't care. I have no idea where the Clippers are. What division are the Clippers in? Could not tell you if my life depended on it.
I will say I think it is the Lakers, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Kings.
You're doing great.
And there's someone else.
You're doing great.
Is Portland in the division?
Or Phoenix?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, no, I don't think it's Phoenix.
You could have told me the Thunder.
It is Phoenix. It is Phoenix. Okay. Yeah, the NBA Pacific Division is the Warriors, Clippers, Lakers, Suns, and Kings.
And what is the name of the division?
The Pacific Division.
Couldn't tell you.
Nobody hangs Pacific Division banners. Divisions don't matter.
No, they don't matter. So like if the NBA wanted to like realign shit and change divisions, nobody would blink that. They would not care. You do this in baseball when like divisions actually like there's a history to it and like this makes no sense to me. Yeah. If you're going to split a team, then split a team that doesn't have a historical rivalry, dumbass.
Yeah.
There's just this one makes no sense.
It's really rich to keep the Red Sox and Yankees together to protect that rivalry, but you split up the West Coast version of that rivalry.
Yeah.
Just once again, West Coast baseball doesn't matter to these people. It's only the Eastern Seaboard that matters.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to point out. That is again, John Heyman insists that there's actually a West Coast bias. This is like a perfect example of what East Coast bias is, where they Jim Bowden definitely looked at it and was like, oh, you can't separate the Yankees and Red Sox, and then gets to the West and he's like,
yeah,
Dodgers Angels, right?
He probably took more care to keep the Cubs and the White Sox in the same division.
Yeah. Also, just a geographic note, because again, this is about travel. And I would imagine that if they did like divide things up like this, that this actually is kind of what would happen. where if you're looking at things geographically, I think people would look at Northern California and group it with like the Mariners and the Rockies, because the Rockies are just kind of by themselves, and then take the southwest of Los Angeles and the Padres. And by the way, the Athletics would be in Las Vegas, which is closer to Southern California than Phoenix is, but whatever. So actually to flip the A's and Diamondbacks there, but hey, who cares? The point is like, if this realignment were to happen, this is the sort of thing that we would see as Dodger fans, because sorry, hate to break it to everyone, but East Coast bias does in fact exist. So there would be more care taken to preserving these East Coast rivalries. And then they look at the Dodgers and Giants and be like, it's 7 hours between those two cities. You got to split them up. So then, and this is what would happen. So, it all goes back to the point that, we talked about. I produced The Odd Couple yesterday with Kelvin Washington and Kerry Rhodes. Rob Parker was not in. The one time the Dodgers have a great series, Rob is not there for the week, so he's going to come back and still say the Padres are winning it all. But Kelvin posed a question: is the Dodgers and Padres the best rivalry in all of sports right now? And I made sure to clarify, and as we've talked about plenty on here, I think there's a difference between a rivalry and rivals. So like, if you were to ask a Dodger fan, like, yeah, I think we do have a rivalry with the Padres right now because we've been heavily competing with them for the last few years for the NL West. But if you ask any Dodger fan who their rivals are, they would say the Giants. If you ask the Padres, they would say the Dodgers for all of the above. But rivals has to go both ways. So sorry, it is what it is. And because of that, the Dodgers and Giants certainly would get split up in this weird sort of scenario, and that would just feel bizarre. I understand that. No, actually, there aren't any situations where rivals are in different in different divisions. Also, yeah, fuck conferences. Keep it leagues, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Okay, conferences is a business thing. I understand that the NBA and the NFL and all of college sports are in conferences, but leagues sounds better. It sounds conference is too business. I don't want it.
Can you imagine?
Change it to that. There's
Can you imagine saying can you just like the Dodgers won the national conference? Like what?
Yeah, ugly.
Oh, the Western Conference.
Disgusting.
The Western Conference. Gross. Disgusting.
I know. People be like, Dodgers won the Western Conference. Be like, who, the Lakers? No, the Dodgers. No, but you said the Western Conference. Yeah, no, no, nobody. It would be hard to click that you're talking about baseball. Doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense.
They would do it like football, where it'd be like the National Baseball Conference and the American Baseball Conference. God, ugly, disgusting. Keep that to yourselves. We got leagues here, okay? Let's keep it that way. All right. Well, before we wrap up here, corrections and retractions. I said that Alex Call has done nothing as a Dodger.
Get absolutely fucking shit on, dude.
Yes. Hey.
That was a no doubter.
Well,
good for him.
It's in Coors Field, and it's probably 800 feet. So Alex Call has hit at least one home run as a Dodger. And I'll give him
there was a lot of running away from consequences on yesterday's Odd Couple, huh? If Rob Parker wasn't there and Rob Guerra was out. But Rob Guerra did get his Caleb Williams apology form today, so don't worry, listeners.
Good.
He got that, so.
Yeah, it's okay.
Some people just don't know ball. I'll tell you.
Well, I hate to just keep talking about the Padres, but they're going to play them again, so our next episode is going to be about the Padres.
Yeah. And it's going to be extremely funny when the Dodgers get swept in that series. I can't wait.
Yeah.
That is the most perfect thing that could happen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because then we're gonna have to sound the alarms. Kershaw is gonna give up like 4 runs in 5 innings, and people are gonna be like, "You see, you can't have a pitch in a big game." And it's like, yeah, get fucking bent.
They're gonna put the crying Kershaw graphic up again.
Yeah.
Stop. I mean, when they did that, it went not well for them after.
No, it did not.
Yeah. So go ahead, put it up. Put it up.
All right. All right, so we'll wrap it up here. Any last thoughts? Any final words?
No. End it.
Okay.
Cut the stream. It's over.
Yeah. This is the Sick Podcast, the Dodger Zone. Be sure to, of course, click the follow button on YouTube. Follow us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. As always, we appreciate any and all support. We're having a lot of fun here, so yeah, don't take us too seriously. All right, we're just we're just having fun here. So until next time, she is Monse Bolaños. He's Bo Benson. My name is Ryan Bershinger. This is the Sick Podcast, the Dodger Zone. Domo arigato, everyone. Thank you very much.
Ciao.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast, the Dodger Zone, on YouTube, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.